Suzuki has at last got around to developing its own full hybrid engine, introduced here beneath the bonnet of its Vitara compact SUV. It comes only with an automated manual 6-speed gearbox, and the gains in efficiency aren't huge, but at least this 1.5 litre powertrain is all the company's own, a good sign for the brand's future independence.
Suzuki has chosen to base this full hybrid engine not on its engaging 1.4 litre booster jet engine, but on a completely new, normally aspirated 1.5 litre petrol unit with 114 bhp. This is combined with a 33 bhp belt-driven electric motor generator powered by a tiny 0.84 kilowatt-hour battery. All the power is fed through a 6-speed automated manual gearbox, which you can expect to feel somewhat slow and clunky until you learn to lift off between ratio changes. There's an eco mode to improve frugality, but you might not want to engage it too often because it restricts throttle response, and even in its normal drive setting, this car is no ball of fire. Rest to 62 miles an hour occupies 12.7 seconds on the way to a top speed of 111 miles an hour. At least the crisp handling seems unaffected by the clever engine up front. Through the corners, the car's eager to change direction, and body rolls decently controlled. You even get a welcome bit of initial bite from the steering when you first turn in, though unfortunately the response gets a bit vaguer the faster you go. Traction's good too, and on that subject it's worth pointing out one of the Vitara model line's key selling points: the fact that it's one of the few models in its segment that can be ordered with four-wheel drive, the Suzuki All-Grip system. This can be specified with the full hybrid engine and offers auto and sport settings for tarmac use, and snow and lock options to help you through poorer conditions. There are no visual changes with this Vitara model's switch to full hybrid power. The car's been on sale since 2014, and the version we have now is the model that was facelifted in 2019. It remains a crossover, positioned size-wise somewhere between the small and mid-sized SUV segments, 4,175mm in length and slightly taller than its visually less striking S-Cross showroom stablemate. This remains quite an assured piece of design work, with its clamshell bonnet, blacked-out floating glasshouse, heavily sculpted flanks and a very neat tail lamp finish. Inside, the cabin is beginning to date a bit, with quite a few hard plastic surfaces, though it all seems to have been pretty well screwed together by the Hungarian factory. The centre dash infotainment screen still has graphics that look a bit aftermarket, but this display certainly includes quite a lot, with sat-nav and Apple CarPlay or Android Auto smartphone mirroring, as well as a DAB tuner and Bluetooth. There's reasonably comfortable room for a couple of adults in the rear, though the twin sunroofs of the top SZ5 model do rob a few centimetres of headroom. Out the back, there's a reasonably sized 375 litre boot that's unaffected by the full hybrid engine installation. If you need more room, then pushing forward the 60-40 split rear bench frees up another 710 litres of space, and the floor can be completely flat if you position the adjustable boot floor in its upper position. So what kind of efficiency difference does this full hybrid tech make to the Vitara? Well, the official combined cycle WLTP figure is 53 miles per gallon, with 121 grams per kilometre of CO2, which is comparable in this segment to what you get from, say, a Toyota Yaris Cross Hybrid or the full hybrid self-charging version of Renault's Captur E-Tech. To give you some perspective, though, the existing manual gearbox mild hybrid Vitara manages 49.7 mpg and 128 grams per kilometre of CO2 in two-wheel drive form, so the step forward here isn't huge. Yes, the drop in CO2 does put the full hybrid model in a more affordable BIK taxation band, but because of this larger capacity model's higher list price, the saving in company car tax isn't very great. Think around £50 over 3 years for someone on 20% income tax. We're pleased that Suzuki has retained its own approach to engineering for this full hybrid engine, rather than simply borrowing from Toyota. But a glance at the price list reveals that there's a price to pay for that. We can't help wondering how many Vitara customers are going to be prepared to stump up for it. Perhaps it doesn't matter too much. This current Vitara design's production life is limited, and generous discounts are available on all variants, including this one, at the brand's dealerships. You'll need that to make this car a really competitive proposition, but at the right price, it might still be.